welcome to Right On with John Crane. I hope you guys are doing great. And today I got a fun little project here that I want to share with you guys. And this is brought in by a customer, a friend of mine, Jack. And Jack has a custom motorcycle business called White Lightning Motors. And he's building a custom bike right now. And he wants this set of shocks here turned down smooth. So I've done a couple of these for him in the past. And so I thought I'd share this with you guys. I did do a video on a set a while back, but this is going to be a little bit different how I tackle this and what I have to do. There's some sleeves in here that I got to pull out. I got to make a little puller for that. But what's going to happen is these little stub outs here, this is for brake and fender and that type of thing. I'm going to cut the bulk of this off on the milling machine and then take it over to the lathe, turn these down smooth, and get these looking great, and onto the bike there, and be a nice styling ride. All right, so let's get busy. I think first things first, I got to make this little sleeve puller. All right, here's a little closer look at these aluminum shocks here, and right, see this these little stub outs, right? We're gonna mill all that off, but in order to put this on the lathe, I have to use this big center here. And that's why I want to pull these sleeves out right here so I can have this center go right in there and ride on this edge. So I don't have a puller for that, so I'm going to make one. I got some of this PVC stock right here, so I think I'm going to drill this out and make a little puller here for this. All right, let's go over to the lathe. All right, so it looks like if I machine something here that's 2 1/16 there, that will straddle this here, and I'll be able to pull this sleeve out. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bore through this with a 1/2 inch drill bit, and then I'm gonna bore one side out with a bigger hole, and then make a little lip here so this will seat on here. And then I can put a threaded rod through there. Drop this threaded rod down in there with a little piece of metal. I'm thinking maybe it's a washer or something like that that can slip down in there, slip under the edge of the sleeve there. And then I can put this on here, tighten a nut on the top, and pull this sleeve up inside of here. All right, here is an 1.5 inch bit I'll come in here with. All right, now I'm coming in with the boring bar, and I'm going to open this up to 2 1/16. All right, that's pretty good. Now I just want to turn a little shoulder in there so that will seat around the outside of that shock there. Yeah, just like that. I think that's gonna work out really nice. All right, so we got that all hollowed out, got the shoulder on there. That fits on top of there just perfect. And so what I've got here is a piece of 3/8 threaded rod. I got the 1/2 inch hole here through the center. And then I got a washer. It's almost the same size as that sleeve there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this into kind of an oval. I put some lines on here. I'm just gonna bring this over to the sander real quick. Take that off, and I wanna be able to put this on with a nut onto this rod right? And then drop this down into the sleeve and then kind of hook it and then be able to pull this up with a nut here on the top. All right, I've been over at the sander there shaping this piece, right? I didn't need to show you guys that, right? Just making some sparks. But this is the piece I've got, and I'm gonna put this over here, put this nut on, and then I think if I'm careful, right, I can drop this down in here. Yeah, just like that. Exactly, and go right underneath that sleeve there, and then I'll put this on top. All right, a washer right here. I guess that could be more of a nylock on the bottom. All right. Awesome. Look at that. All right. Pulled it out. A little bit crooked, but I think that worked like a charm. Everything looks really nice in there. Can pull that out. And now I can put these on the mill here and then get over to the lathe. All right. Right on. All right. I got this locked up in the vise, and I'm just going to start hogging off these nubs here. There's a nice flat spot on the back of this fork. So I just got a 1/2-inch cutter in here. It's a nice roughing cutter. This doesn't have to be too precise. You know, you could do this with a bandsaw and an angle grinder. Up, I got the 4-jaw chuck on the lathe now, and I'm bringing in this bull nose here to go in the end. That's why I pulled out those seals earlier, so you can get a nice purchase on that. So put this in the tailstock here, and then I'm going to grip up on here and out here. This is a perfect job for the 4-jaw chuck here. All right, this is a strange part to indicate on because I don't got a full round surface. You know, I got this flat right here. So I'm trying to get 3 sides dialed in nicely. All right, and I'm just gonna change this out. The cutter I'm using is CNMG, and I'm putting in a 432. Here is the insert right here. I'm taking out this one right here. This is actually a 431, but in a slightly different style. All right, I'm just moving the piece around here to see where my highest spot is, and it looks like it's right here, right? These are lots of interrupted cuts here, and it looks like this is the high spot, so I'm gonna start here, work my way back and forth. spot here, because the fork gets a little bit wider there. This is going to have to be kind of shaped into this area. Just a little bit of a sculpting, little artistic take on this here. I'm just going to bring up the speed and slow down the feed rate here and see if I can start getting a nice cut on this here. All right, this is looking pretty good. There's a couple low spots right here, and of course right here. This might just have to be blended in, sanded in. I'm probably gonna run some sandpaper over this whole thing here, but for the most part, it's looking pretty good. Even down here, right? This is gonna have to be maybe blended in, maybe, you know, maybe this is even a little bit of a flap disc kind of thing, blending that in by hand down there. But I'm going to take another 5/1000 here off of this and see where I'm at. Maybe 10. Section right here, I'm gonna blend this in, and I'm gonna blend it in by hand a little bit with the lathe here, and just working the dials there and see if I can take a little bit of that off and make a nice smooth transition there. The extent of what I'm going to do there. I think the rest of that I'm just going to have to blend in by hand. That's looking pretty sweet there, and that's the extent of how far I'm going to take this. These are getting powder coated, so any little blemishes. Can't really get out this spot here. I'm going to leave that up to Jack. Maybe he wants to polish that out there before they go over to powder coat. All right, that's looking pretty sweet. My hands are looking like the Tin Man here from the Wizard of Oz, right? All right, Jack's coming over. He's gonna pick these up, and these are ready to roll. I'm gonna leave some of this for him to polish out there.